Hello everyone, I'm Tim. In today's video, we're going to talk about bears. I've been hiking out here in the woods for 30 years. I haven't had any problems with black bears. I've seen some, but they've never been a problem. But for some reason, in the last month, there's been 2 people in the state of Arkansas that's been killed by black bears that have been juvenile black bears on top of that. So today's video, I'm going to teach you how to use bear spray, some other ways to defend yourself if you are attacked by a bear, give you some options that way, and let's talk about how we just avoid being in a confrontation with a bear altogether. So let's get started. First off, you have to have your bear spray ready to go. And I have mine right up front here because I'm not gonna go digging through my backpack and trying to find it when I'm confronted with a bear. I want it to be able to be deployed immediately, and I'm gonna take you through those steps, and we're gonna actually spray bear spray and see what it looks like. If the bear is just wandering around and going a different direction, my biggest thing is to stay as far away from the bear and not get in his way and just let him do bear things and get away from me, because I don't want to be any part of him. He's much bigger and he will hurt me. So the biggest thing with the bear is get distance away from him. And the last thing you want to do is offer any kind of food to him. That's normally why people have problems with bears anyways. The bear has been fed before in the past, and bears they look like they're curious and they're just going to walk up to you like a dog would, but it's nothing like a dog would. These are wild animals. You're not going to want them to come up. They're not going to let you pet them, so don't expect that. And that's how a lot of people get in trouble with bears, is they think they look pretty innocent walking up to them. They're cute, cuddly, but they're not. Back away and start moving backwards if I need to get some more distance. And I'm going to go ahead and gain a secondary weapon with my strong arm. It's going to be in my weak hand. It's going to be out pointed towards the bear. I'm going to blade my body away from this, and I'm going to try to get a good footing. And I may start to back up a little bit to get some more distance as I'm going. I'm going to be careful though, before I fire this and before this starts, I'm going to look around and make sure there's not like a big rock behind me, a big stump or something I'm going to fall down, because I don't want to fall down. I want to be mobile here. I'm going to be ready to fight in case I have to fight. And we're going to make ourselves big, and we're going to say, "Hey bear, hey!" And we're going to let the bear know that we see them, and we're going to challenge them. So we want the bear to be intimidated. We really don't want to have to use anything against this bear. We want him to run off. But if he keeps coming uncomfortably closer, which 25 feet is way too close, you should never let him that close. We're going to, with our weak hand, we're going to blade our body, we're going to take the safety off, and we're going to spray a circular pattern like this. And with those short bursts like that is all that you want to do. I still have some liquid left in here in case he's still coming closer. Hopefully at this point he has taken off and he is gone. So while the bear is experiencing this gives me my chance for escape. I'm going to leave. I'm out of here, and I'm going to let the bear just do his thing. I'm going to report the whole incident to the ranger and just let him know what happened. The pepper's heavy. I can taste it back in the back of my throat. I didn't get any on me, so it's not irritating my eyes or anything, but it's definitely affecting my sinuses. So that's some pretty good stuff. But I still have to go down and retrieve my other camera and my bear. And that way I don't get the pepper spray all over me. It's still pretty heavy in the air. It's been about 20 minutes since I first sprayed it, so it stays in there a while. Okay guys, let's talk about how this is going to go down. Real life scenario here. If I have a bear out 30, 40 yards and he's curious about me and he's coming closer, after I made myself big, said, "Hey bear," and he's not intimidated by me, he's still closing in on me, I don't want it to let him get close to me. The closer he gets to me, the worse shape I'm going to be in. So first thing I'm going to do is arm myself with my bear spray, get that out in front of me. I'm going to kick that safety off right now, because if he picks up any speed, closes in any closer than that 25 feet, I'm going to start firing the bear spray at him to tell him to get back. And I'm going to even say that, "Bear, get back, bear, get back," as I'm firing those rounds in at him. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure my body's bladed, because I'm not going to let the bear come running at me and hit me in the center. I'm going to be bladed off to the side. I'm going to have the bear spray out in front of me as far as I can. And I'm going to be with my hips and my legs. I'm going to be in more of a fighter stance to where I can move around and get off the X if that bear's coming at me. And I'm gonna also pay attention to what's behind me, because I don't want to start backing up and fall down. I'm gonna keep that bear spray out, and the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna arm myself. So by arming myself, it's only for when the bear spray is not doing its job or the bear's right on top of me. I'm not gonna take a shot at 25 feet at the bear. I'm not gonna take a shot probably at 10 feet from the bear, but he gets closer than that. I'm gonna have to protect myself at that point because he's coming for me. So I'm gonna have my bear spray out in front of me. I'm gonna be in a good stance. I'm gonna have my firearm ready. And whenever that bear spray is not working anymore, that's all I got to resort to at that point to protect myself. For me, the firearm is a very last resort. I don't wanna have to use it. So those are my options out here. I designed this video today because I wanna get you guys thinking. I wanna get you guys thinking of what's gonna happen if a bear comes at me, if I discover a bear at the wood, what's gonna happen if he's charging at me. So one of the things that I would personally do, if you got something like a tree here and a bear is charging at you and you can get back behind the tree and get yourself ready for the bear attack. And what this does, this makes something that the bear's got to come around to get to you. It puts something, an obstacle in the way of you and him. And you would still do the same thing. You would still fire the bear spray off at the bear, but do it from cover. So in this type situation, you would have your bear spray out, you would have your safety kicked off, and you would be spraying at the bear. And for me, I already told you, I'm gonna choose a firearm and I'm gonna be protecting myself here. Now, as the bear gets closer, I'm gonna still spray, but I'm gonna duck back behind this tree, and that's gonna give me an advantage, because when the bear comes running up here, he's gonna have to slow down, and that little bit of time might be all I need to get a couple shots off and protect me or my friends or my family. And in the law enforcement world, that's what we teach officers to do. Always find cover and tree, big rocks, anything he's got to go over. If you can get into a car would be the best thing to do to get away from it. But sometimes you're out here in the open and your options are limited. Okay, let's talk about if the bear has come at us, we're on the ground, we're fighting with the bear. What we want to do is in a bear attack, you're going for eyes, you're going for the nose, and you're just going to start punching it as hard as you could. What I would personally do, I would arm myself with a knife, and I would be cutting the bear with the knife, and I would be aiming for those areas. I'd be aiming for the nose, the eyes with the knife. Biggest thing is we want to protect our vital organs. We don't want them coming at our vital areas like our heart, lungs, our neck, our head. And a lot of people teach that you will protect those items. What I'm going to personally do is I'm going to blade myself again. If I'm on the ground, I'm going to try to fight upwards with the bear. You're aiming for the nose and the eyes area is going to be your biggest success rate when you're being attacked by a bear on the ground. And if you got a backpack on and stuff, it offers a little bit of protection. I wouldn't count on that. The bear's claws are very sharp, but in an emergency situation, you never give up. You continue to fight. And we're just talking about black bears today. We're not talking about grizzlies or polar bears or anything like that. We're talking about what's common in the areas that I hike. If you're in grizzly territory, that's a whole different game, and I understand that. Same way with polar bears. But out here in black bear country, attack on us is very, very rare, and typically it's a human error that causes the attack. Not always, but we're going to make sure that we're doing things to protect ourselves. And the rule is with the black bears, and I don't like the term black bears because some black bears are brown. Not all black bears are black. So with that, what the biggest difference I see between the grizzlies, because even grizzlies can be black or brown, and there's like a distinct hump on the grizzly bear that's different than the black bear, and that's the biggest way to tell the two apart. So with a grizzly bear, they teach you to ball up and play dead, which is your biggest success rate for that, which I believe that. I don't have any training with grizzly bears at all, nor have I ever seen or encountered one, but I have seen a lot of black bears. And my experience is, every time I've seen one, I've tried to take a picture of them and they are gone. I can't even get my camera out quick enough to catch them running off. So this will give you some options about what you can do when you're attacked by a bear or have a bear that's coming at you. Most of the time, they're just curious about you. The first time I ever saw a bear, I was on duty patrolling at nighttime as a deputy, and we haven't seen any bears around this location ever. And I was patrolling, I saw what looked like a dog on the side of the road. So I slowed down. It's 2:30 in the morning. I turned my spotlight on my patrol car, and I get out of the car to check out the dog, and he takes off running. And that's when I noticed that dog was actually a small black bear. And whenever I went over to where he was at, what I noticed was he was digging around a sack of French fries. And that's one of the problems. One of the problems is at this time of year, the bears are trying to get calories. And when we have food out, it's a temptation to them, especially if they've experienced the human food before. And we fail as human beings when we try to feed the bears. There's an old saying, don't feed the bears, and the reason why, it makes them curious about us, more comfortable around us, and they get closer. But at the end of the day, they're still a wild animal. We're not going to be able to tame them, and if we get between them and their food, we're going to be losing, because if you're throwing a French fry at them, they're going to want the whole sack of French fries, and if you're holding it, you're going to get hurt. And the worst thing is you're going to get the bear either hurt or killed by feeding it, because at some point, more than likely, that same bear is going to go for a human that he can smell food on, and then later the bear is going to have to be put down. So as human beings, we're the bear's biggest enemy, in my opinion. The other problem we have to realize too is if the bear's out, we never want to come between the mother bear and her cubs. That's another time we're going to get attacked, so stay away from that. If you see a bear roaming around with its cubs, if you want a picture of it, great. But I think we're getting attacked here because of Instagram, Facebook, social media. Everyone wants to get that shot. Everyone wants to get that video, including me. You know, I would love to have video of a bear roaming around with her cubs and all, but I'm not going to put my life in danger for it, and I'm not going to put that bear's life in danger for that either. You know, that's the time that you enjoy things from afar. Do not ever try to coax them towards you. It's not going to end up well. They are wild animals, and as soon as they feel threatened, they're going to attack. And I've been a canine officer most of my life, and one thing I can tell you about dogs is, especially dogs that are trained in aggression, those dogs are the nicest dogs ever, but they have different triggers. If someone was to stare my dog in the eyes, he has just committed a physical challenge to my dog, and he's going to get bit by my dog, because that's just the reaction my dog's going to have, because he's bite trained. So you don't want that situation at all. You don't know what that bear's trigger's at. He may be acting real nice and cuddly and moving around you like he's curious about you, which he is, but you don't know at what second that bear is going to change from just sniffing around to a full attack. And if you're that close, you're not going to have time to react or arm yourself with bear spray or anything else. It's too late. So don't let a bear get close to you. Bear spray, as we did in this experiment today, that bear was out 25 feet, and you can see in my video how the cloud was just kind of barely going over the bear. It wasn't a full cloud. And you start spraying it at that distance because the bear is going to start running into that cloud, so it's going to get more and more in its face as it's coming closer and closer. And this was a perfect environment. I chose this location because there was no wind at all, so we had a very still environment to where we could fire the bear spray out and just see how it carried. And it made it to 25 feet, but it was just a small cloud from there. The other thing I did was I walked through the area where I just sprayed, just for one thing. I wanted to kind of test it. I'm an instructor for law enforcement. I teach pepper spray, and I'll tell you, the pepper spray that law enforcement uses is much stronger than what that was. Even after setting 20 minutes, law enforcement spray would have been a lot more potent. So that is a less percentage, and as I walked through there, I wasn't having any trouble. It did bother the back of my throat, and it did make my nose run, and I coughed, which is normal. That's what pepper spray does. So I was pleased with the pepper spray we had out here. If you want to carry bear spray, you're going to have to buy a bottle of it. And keep track of the expiration date. Once the expiration date is gone, throw it away. Another thing you want to make sure of, today we got 6 squirts out of this bottle, and it's empty. And even if I got a couple out of there, I'm throwing it away and getting a brand new bottle. I'm not going to walk around with half a bottle of bear spray hoping that it's going to work for the next attack, because it's probably not. And if you got someone else with you carrying bear spray as well, I suggest you both arm yourself, and if the bear's coming at you, both spray at the bear at the same time. I think it would just give a much better cloud about it. All right, I hope you got some information out of this video that you found helpful. I just want you guys to be safe. I don't want anyone to be afraid to be out in the backcountry, but we've got to be smart about it, and we have to be prepared. And right now, I won't go out here without a can of bear spray, and another way to protect myself. But it's best to go out with groups. The more in your group, the better your success is. If there's 2, 3 of you guys, you're talking, you got a lot better chance. So I would urge that. If you got any value out of this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.